Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something pretty big, artificial intelligence.
Mm,
And here's the catch, we're going way deeper than the usual AI chit-chat.
definitely deeper.
We've got some cool sources lined up.
Oh, yeah.
First up, we've got this interview with a guy named Noah. He's the developer over at OpenAI.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he was actually interviewed by a high school student, Sophia, for her class project,
Mm,
which is pretty cool. It's about how AI is impacting society.
I like that.
But the real meat of our deep dive today is this news report.
Okay.
It's called The Future of AI, How It Will Change Our Lives. It's by a tech reporter, James Foster. So buckle up. We're going to uncover how AI is already changing things and where it's headed.
One thing that really stood out to me in James's report is how he just gets AI. Like he really understands it, but he's also not afraid to talk about the downsides, the potential risks, and all that.
Yeah, totally. He doesn't just hype it up. He gives you the whole picture.
Ex-
And one of the first myths he busts is this idea that AI is like this futuristic thing that's way off in the distance.
Right.
He argues that it's already here. It's Loki running in the background of our lives.
Like a ninja.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. And he uses these really simple examples that everyone can relate to, like Netflix and YouTube recommendations. Have you ever noticed how they always seem to know exactly what you want to watch next?
All the time.
Well, it's AI doing its thing. It's analyzing what you've watched before and then using that data to suggest stuff you might like.
It's kind of freaky how accurate it can be.
Right.
Ugh.
And it's not just entertainment either. James also talks about how AI is used in online shopping, like on Amazon. You know, those customers who bought this also bought suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
AI, again, it's taking tons of data and using it to give you a personalized shopping experience.
So it's basically like having a personal shopper, but in your phone.
Uh-huh. Yeah, kind of. But one of the things I found most interesting is how James digs into the potential of AI in healthcare. He talks about how it could totally change how we detect and treat diseases.
That's huge.
I know, right?
Right.
Imagine algorithms that can look at medical images and spot things that human doctors might miss.
Yeah, like tiny anomalies or something.
Exactly. And he even talks about how AI could lead to personalized medicine, like treatments that are tailored to your specific genes and lifestyle.
That would be incredible.
It would be revolutionary. But, and this is important, James doesn't just gloss over the potential downsides of all this.
Right.
He talks about how AI could impact jobs, Like some jobs might disappear, especially ones that involve a lot of repetitive tasks.
He's definitely not sugarcoating it.
Nope. But here's the cool part. He also points out that this shift will create new opportunities. Like,
Yeah.
we'll need people to design, maintain, and manage all these AI systems. So the demand for AI developers, data analysts, programmers, it's all going to explode.
It's like one door closes and another one opens, but it's a different kind of door.
Totally. It's like a whole new skill set that
Mm.
we'll need.
Exactly.
So it's not all doom and gloom. There's this sense of opportunity mixed in with all the challenges.
I like how James puts it. He says, it's not about robots taking over. It's about humans and machines working together to create something better.
That's a great way to put it. It's like a partnership.
Yeah, like we each bring something unique to the table.
Exactly.
Something I really appreciate about James's writing is how he makes all this AI stuff easy to understand.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He doesn't use a bunch of techie jargon that just goes over your head.
Right.
He uses like normal language, and he's got these great examples that just click.
Yeah, totally. Like, remember when he was talking about machine learning
Mm-hmm.
and he compared it to, like, teaching a dog a new trick?
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
It's so simple, but it makes sense.
Hmm.
Like, you give the dog a treat when it does something right, and eventually it learns the trick.
Right.
And it's the same with machine learning. You train these algorithms on tons of data, and they learn to spot patterns and make predictions.
Makes sense.
And what's cool is he goes even deeper, like he talks about the different types of machine learning.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Well, there's this thing called supervised learning, where you basically feed the algorithm labeled data.
Labeled data.
Yeah, so like if you're teaching it to recognize images, you'd give it a bunch of pictures that are already labeled as, say, cat or dog, and it learns to tell the difference.
Ah, okay, I get it.
And then there's unsupervised learning, which is kind of the opposite.
How so?
Well, this time, the algorithm gets a bunch of data that's not labeled.
So it has to figure it out on its own.
Exactly. It has to find the patterns and connections all by itself, which is super useful for things like, figuring out different groups of customers in marketing.
That's pretty wild. So it's not like there's just one type of AI. It's a bunch of different approaches depending on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's like a toolbox full of different AI tools,
Yeah,
and you pick the right one for the job.
I like that.
So remember how we were talking about how AI can help with some of these big global challenges?
Yeah, like climate change and stuff.
Well, James goes into some really specific examples of how that could work.
Like what?
Well, he talks about these things called smart grids.
Smart grids.
Yeah, they basically optimize how energy gets distributed so there's less waste and we don't have to rely on fossil fuels as much.
That sounds promising.
And he also mentions AI being used in agriculture, like helping farmers use water and fertilizer more efficiently.
Oh, wow.
It's all about using AI to make smarter decisions about how we use our resources.
That's really cool.
And it goes beyond sustainability, too. Like, James also talks about how AI could revolutionize transportation.
In what way?
Well, he talks about self-driving cars, which, could reduce accidents and traffic jams.
I can't wait for those.
I know, right? And he even mentions AI-powered drones for deliveries, which would be way faster and better for the environment.
It's like AI could make our cities so much more efficient and livable.
Exactly. And it's not just about making things easier for us. James also points out how AI could help people with disabilities.
Oh, how so?
Well, he talks about AI-powered wheelchairs that can navigate like really complex environments.
That's amazing.
And also voice-controlled assistants that could help people who have trouble moving around.
That's incredible. It's like AI could make the world more accessible for everyone.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just physical accessibility. James also talks about how AI could be used to break down language barriers.
That would be huge.
Imagine real-time translation tools that let people from different countries communicate easily.
Yeah, or AI that helps students from different backgrounds learn more effectively.
It's like AI has the potential to connect people in a way that's never been possible before.
But let's be real, there are also some downsides, like we were talking about with jobs.
Yeah, that's definitely a big concern. And James doesn't shy away from that at all.
Right.
He gets that people are worried about robots taking their jobs, which makes sense.
For sure.
But he thinks we need to change how we think about it.
Like how?
Well, instead of seeing AI as a threat, he thinks we should see it as an opportunity.
An opportunity for what?
An opportunity to, like, rethink what work even means.
Interesting.
Like, he says AI could free us up from all those boring, repetitive tasks that nobody wants to do anyway.
True.
And that would give us more time to focus on things that are more creative and fulfilling.
So it's like humans and machines working together, each doing what they're best at.
Exactly. But he also makes it clear that we need to prepare for this shift.
Like, how do we do that?
Well, he talks about the importance of education and training programs to help people learn the new skills they'll need.
So we need to be adaptable and willing to learn new things.
Yeah, it's all about lifelong learning.
It's not just about individuals, though, right?
Oh, definitely not. James stresses that governments and businesses need to step up too.
In what way?
Well, he says we need policies that support workers who might lose their jobs because of AI.
Like financial assistance or retraining programs.
Exactly. And he also calls on businesses to be responsible about how they use AI.
Meaning what?
Like making sure it's used to benefit everyone, not just to make more profits.
That's important.
So it's really a call to action for all of us.
To work together and make sure AI is used for good.
Yeah, to create a future where everyone can thrive, not just a select few.
It's a big task, but it's exciting too.
Definitely. And it all starts with being informed and engaged.
And not being afraid to ask questions.
Exactly. All right, we're back. For the last part of our AI deep dive, we've talked about a lot, but honestly, we've only scratched the surface of what James covers in his report. You know, one thing that really impressed me was how he, zooms in on specific industries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and shows how AI is already changing the game.
That's cool. Like what kind of industries?
Well, he talks about finance, for one.
Okay.
Like how AI is being used to catch fraud,
Makes sense.
assess risk,
Uh-huh.
and even personalize investment advice.
Wow.
It's wild. And then there's retail. AI is all over that too.
Like how?
Think about personalized shopping experiences. Those stores where you can just walk out without going through a cashier.
Oh, yeah, the ones with all the cameras.
Exactly. And of course, all that AI-powered inventory management stuff going on behind the scenes.
It's kind of mind-blowing how AI is just like woven into everything these days.
You know, right?
Yeah.
But here's something I found super interesting. How AI is showing up in creative fields.
Really?
Yeah. James talks about how AI is being used to write music,
No way.
poetry even,
Wow.
and create actual works of art.
That's crazy. So does that mean like AI is actually creative?
That's a big question, right?
Yeah.
Is it really being creative, or is it just mimicking what humans do?
And what does that even mean for the future of art?
It's a total rabbit hole. We could talk about that for hours. But I think James's point is more about, like, AI is a tool.
Okay.
And just like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
So it's up to us how we use it.
Exactly. We get to decide what kind of future we want to build with AI.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is. And James really stresses that we need to have, like, a human-centered approach to AI development.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, it means making sure AI aligns with our values, like respecting privacy
Uh-huh.
and making sure it benefits everyone, not just a small group of people.
Right.
It's about finding that balance between, like, pushing the boundaries of technology and taking care of humanity.
I can get behind that.
And that's a responsibility we all share, not just the people developing AI, but all of us.
Yeah. We all need to be paying attention.
Exactly. We need to be informed, ask questions, and speak up about how AI is being used.
So what's the takeaway here?
I think James wants us to remember that we have a voice.
In shaping the future of AI.
Exactly. Our choices matter. So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI, I'm hoping you're feeling a mix of, like, excitement and responsibility.
It is exciting, but it's also a little daunting.
It is, for sure.
Yeah.
But AI has the potential to change the world in amazing ways. We just have to make sure it's for the better.
Well said.
So, to all our listeners out there, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. The future of AI is in our hands. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive. I hope you found it interesting and maybe even a little inspiring. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep questioning. Thanks for listening.